Welcome to Streaming Screams. I am Glenn. I'm here with Jessica.
Hello.
And today we are going to be talking about horror. And as somebody I was talking to recently told me, now we are officially real podcasters because we have lost an entire session that we've recorded. And this is us taking a second stab at it.
That doesn't make you official. You have to have like a...
Well, no, it's one of those sayings like you're not a real beer brewer until you've mopped your ceiling.
I would say you have to get your first sponsorship.
I mean, technically, we were podcasters the minute we put out our first podcast.
Not professionally.
Well, no. No, so far it's costing a lot more than it pays. But, you know, that's the life of art. Would you consider a podcast art?
It's creating something.
Yeah, so I guess,
It's a type of art.
Yeah.
I guess.
We're artistes. Well, I mean, you're definitely a visual artist and I'm a musician. So, yes, we are actually artistes. But I'm sorry, you were saying?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to say, because just an example, my rescue group, they have like a rescue group that they have rivals. And I was like, oh, you're an official rescue group now. Because all rescue groups hate another rescue group. Yeah. I've worked with multiple, and they all have arch enemies. Don't know why, but they all rescue groups hate each other. There might be one or two that you work in conjunction with, but for the most part, all rescue groups think other rescue groups suck.
All right, somebody out there is going to find this offensive. Is it because rescue groups are made up of cat ladies?
Well...
Y'all should see the look on Jess's face right now.
Well, because there's more rescue groups than cat rescue groups, and I've worked with other ones and bunnies. But yeah, I will say yes, it is because it's mostly bored, middle-aged housewives that their kids are like older. And they're, oh my God, in many rescue groups I've been to, it's not only people talking shit about other rescue groups, it's everyone just talking shit about each other. So I don't really involve myself much in the social events that they have for the rescue groups.
Well, you probably have the advantage of having gotten into it when you were like in your early 20s, right?
Well, why is that an advantage?
You learned quickly.
Yeah, one time I got invited over for drinks at a rescue group, one of my rescues. Another foster, and they're like, oh, so these other fosters are coming, and I'm just like, and they even when I was like, no, I'm good, and they're like, well, you don't want to like bitch with us? I'm good. I'm just here for the animals. I don't. And it's like, it reminds you of high school too, you know, where like they'll bitch about each other, but then like when they see each other, like, oh my God.
Oh, I've missed you so much.
I'm like,
it's so good to see you. Yeah. Then you go to give them a hug and then sort of roll your eyes to your friends who are standing behind them.
Yeah, there's so much unnecessary drama in the rescue world.
To be fair, you can say that about a lot of the world.
Yeah, but like in rescue, there's already enough drama in just like all the animals and stuff. Why do you gotta add on like extra shit? And almost I'm like, we're all here for the same reason. Why are we all like being like, no, you suck? If rescue groups work together, I bet they could save more animals.
Yeah, but fuck those other guys.
Yeah, exactly. They don't do it right.
Oh man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we recorded this episode once already. We'll be talking about the movie The Signal from 2007. And we're going to do it slightly differently this time because if you're going to experiment with a different format, why not do it when you've already lost all of your work once? Mm-hmm. I feel like that might have sounded flippant, but that was actually the logic. The Signal, released in 2007. This is sort of a anthology type of thing, kind of. It's it does follow one group of characters, and
it parts.
It basically has chapters, but each chapter is directed by is written and directed by somebody different, and they each focus on a different genre. Unlike a standard anthology, it's not different stories. This all follows one event and one cast of characters.
Yeah. You could say like the first one follows the chick.
Well, it's the same story from three different perspectives. But it all...
I wouldn't say that either, because if you say through different perspectives, that makes it sound like when they, like, repeat stuff.
Right, okay, all right.
I'm just saying, like, you know, because there are movies that keep showing stuff from different perspectives, like Weapons.
So this doesn't do that.
Yeah.
What it does is, as the story goes on, we shift perspectives from one character to another, and with each perspective shift, we are dealing with a different writer and director and a different genre and tone. And the tone and genre shift pretty damn wildly. If I remember correctly, you showed me this movie several times when we were living together. And every time we put it on, and including this time, I have always been so confused at the beginning. Not the first segment, but like the first scene has literally nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah. No, I was like, when we put it on, Craven was like, "Is this the right movie?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
I forget about it too, but as soon as it comes on, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's this thing. Well, so what always really confuses me about it too, they put the title sequence in that like early section, which is completely unrelated.
It's like a grindhouse slasher, like directly in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie is not like that.
Yeah, no, it turns out that this is something that is, I guess, on TV. But what always weirds me out about it is...
There's really no relevance to it.
No, it's not.
I think it's supposed to set up themes, but... I don't know.
The last time I was watching it, I was wondering if this movie actually, like, is The Signal.
That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
But nobody's ever... I don't know.
Nobody's ever...
They're not watching it, and a lot of the times it's like it's on like the phones and the radio and...
Yeah, true. But the visuals, I'm fairly certain, start, and I don't know if they're this way through the whole movie, but they kind of start with just like a warping of this movie as we're watching it.
Yeah, but then I think sometimes it's some like of the characters, but I could be wrong.
I mean,
I think it changes.
Maybe.
I couldn't find anything about it. I tried so hard.
Right. Well, also because I noticed that there's a URL hidden in there.
Yeah, I tried so hard to find anything about it.
I sent you the screenshots I had taken and all that, and it's so it did occur to me. It did occur to me, and I don't know. There is a non-zero chance, and I hope this isn't the case, because otherwise, man, you and I both spent so long trying to figure this out for nothing. Yeah. There is a non-zero chance that they were using like some kind of
stock image.
I was going to say trial software to do that distortion effect, and being in trial, it might have just had a watermark.
But it's not through the whole thing.
That is true. That is true. But I swear, whatever the URL is, it starts with elite. It's www.elite, and I cannot make out the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, how do you like this movie?
I like it. We just said I watched it several times.
No, I know, but this is the podcast.
I know. Just like you just said that I watched it several times.
Yeah.
Yes, I like this movie. I think it's fun. I think it's relatively unique.
Mm-hmm. It feels like an interesting exercise in filmmaking. It seems like the film just sort of passes a baton to a new director, and then the new director seems to do whatever they want with it, regardless of what was going on before. Not necessarily passing the baton with this overall story.
Yeah, because they were written together.
Yeah.
But it is just some filmmakers. I don't know how old they were, but I'm guessing like out of college or something. I don't know. But it is just some filmmakers that work together regularly and were like, let's make a movie together.
Yeah.
But they said they made a lot of compromises because they were all working. They had to like make compromises for things.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're like, for better or worse.
Yeah. Well, I do recognize the name. I do recognize the director of the first segment, David Bruckner, who I believe worked on a number of the VHS VHS movies.
Oh.
And I don't know why I always remember that name when it comes up in anything. I don't know, something about the name Bruckner just always sticks with me, and I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure I've seen other movies that he's worked on. I think he did some stuff with VHS, and he may have done one of the segments for Southbound, I want to say.
Maybe. I don't pay attention to directors on anthologies like ever. Until recently, relatively recently, I didn't pay attention to directors at all.
I've always been more interested in directors than I have in actors, with a few exceptions. Like, if I don't know who a director is, but the movie's got Nicolas Cage and it seems cool, I'll probably go see it. Although, to be fair, I don't think I necessarily ever went to go see a movie just because it had an actor in it. But there are a number of directors who once I know their name is attached to it, I'll see it. Yeah. John Carpenter being obvious. Really, Ari Aster. I know. Yeah. Controversial opinion there.
It's not really. I mean,
I know. I'm pretty sure that his detractors are just really annoyingly loud, as detractors tend to be.
Yeah, but you know what they say, nobody's done something great without haters. There's some more eloquent way to say it, but you know.
Yes. That was definitely a paraphrase, but I get your meaning. Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, etc., etc., etc. Whatever.
Yeah. It's also one of those things. That's proof that you made it. If you have a group of people who yell at you and say they hate your art, that's how you know you made it as an artist. If people care enough to say you suck.
If you get if
you suck and like you're not like you haven't done it much, people are just like, oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, little pat on the head. Yeah. Good job with this. Yeah, I really like this one thing you chose. Yeah, let me focus on this one aspect.
Yeah, but there's lots of directors now, but I used to never follow directors.
Yeah, I was always more interested in them.
I wasn't interested in actors. I don't like too well-known actors. I think they ruin movies.
I think they can.
And it's because there's certain movies that I cannot get absorbed in when it's like, oh, that's Tom Cruise. Oh, that's Nicolas Cage. It does detract from some stuff. I like Nicolas Cage, but still, I think it's just distracting.
I generally don't have that problem as much, thankfully, which is good. Once I am engaged with a movie, I'm generally able to engage with it regardless of who's doing what. I think the one real exception to that is for a lot of movies, not his whole career, but Arnold Schwarzenegger. For my favorite movies of his, Terminator 2, Conan the Barbarian, absolutely able to just get on board with it. To get to Terminator 3, it stops being the Terminator and it starts being Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or what other garbage movies has he been in? Okay, I want to say Last Action Hero, but I don't know. There's been a lot of.
What's wrong with Last Action Hero?
Okay. My initial instinct is to say it's stupid. But in recent days, I've been spending more time than usual with my brother-in-law as of late. And so we've gotten on a bunch of random conversations. And recently he was extolling the virtues of Last Action Hero and kind of convinced me to give it another shot. So I'm probably going to rewatch it soon. I initially saw it in theaters and was just like, too cheesy. It's too dumb. And
it's a kids movie.
Is it a kid's movie? Or because it has a kid in it.
Yeah.
But, it's...
Ergo kids movie.
I don't think that's all that's required to make it a kids movie. I saw somebody arguing on Facebook the other day that Welcome to Derry is like a kids show. And I was like, they were like, I've only seen the first couple episodes, but what? I'm just not into it.
But that's even worse, the first couple episodes. Like, because I will say the one thing about Welcome to Derry, I don't think it's like amazing. I do like a lot about it, but like I will say, even compared to the book, they're being pretty brutal about murdering these children.
Dude, that theater scene was fucked up,
Yeah,
man.
there's no way you could be like, it's for the kids.
Yeah, no, and that's seriously what I said was like, one, first off, watch the rest of the series, and
Well,
two,
it's fine if you don't like it.
Sure,
That's what I hate
but
when
like,
people
don't give me this
Yeah.
shit about it being for kids.
Yeah,
Like,
you're allowed to just not like something, but don't make up stupid reasons.
yeah, it can literally just not be your thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a reason. You don't have to have a reason to like things. You don't have to have a reason to dislike things. You don't need logic to appreciate art, and that is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we just had a really long conversation about music and other nonsense. It went on really long even for us, so we have cut that out, but if you would like to hear it, it will be available as a bonus around the same time as this episode comes out. So check it out. Once again, The Signal, 2007, written in 3 parts. Transmission 1 by David Bruckner. Transmission 2 by Jacob Gentry. Transmission 3 by Dan Bush. And that's written and directed by in all of those cases. Starring Anessa Ramsey as Maya Denton, our final girl of sorts. She is cheating on her husband with Ben. She seems to feel somewhat bad about cheating, but doesn't seem to know whether she wants to go back to her husband or run away with Ben.
I always got the impression that she is scared to leave. And yeah, she just doesn't want to say that to him. I don't think this guy is fully aware of like the situation.
He definitely is not. Ben has stepped in something.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And even when she gets asked the question, do you love him? And she can't like answer. It's like, because she probably does still in some way, because like any abusive relationship doesn't start off that way.
Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of backstory on these characters, so we don't actually know how abusive he is or isn't, because he's already crazy by the time we meet him in this movie.
She just, to me, already seems like afraid, and that could be because you're cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know how people are going to react when you're cheating, but I've always gotten the impression, even before, like the first time I watched it, to me, she just seemed like she was scared. But who knows?
Right. Yeah, and Ben definitely does not seem to be aware of the full situation, which is often the risk that you run when you are the other man or other woman or other non-binary person. So try not to do that. Also, it's kind of a dick move. Justin Wellborn as Ben Capstone, a photographer who is smitten with Maya and wants her to run away with him. He is also the other man. AJ Bowen as Lewis Denton, an exterminator who is jealously possessive of his wife. It's hard to tell whether he's always been crazy jealous or if this is because of the affair or if he's just how we're seeing him since he's already crazy.
Yeah, because everybody is already affected by it when the movie starts.
Yeah. And that's sort of an interesting thing, I think, about this movie, is that even though we are shifting perspectives from one character to another, at no point in this movie are we dealing with a reliable narrator. All of these people are crazy at the very start of the movie. And
yeah, it's at varying levels.
To varying levels, and there are a number of characters who might not quite be crazy yet, but they're exposed to the signal pretty quickly.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters, I think, might have actually been sane when we first met him. We'll get to him in 1 second. We've got Sar as Rod. I'm not going to try to pronounce his full name. In the credits, it is Sar, and I'm going to leave it that way. He is one of Lewis's friends, and he kind of seems like an okay guy at first, but he gets real violent real fast once the infection starts. Matthew Stanton as Jerry, another of Lewis's friends who is real antagonistic once Lewis starts acting strange. Sherry Christian as Anna and Christopher Thomas as Ken, a saccharinely happy couple who are planning a New Year's Eve party. Scott Poythress as Clark, Anna's conspiracy theorist neighbor and landlord who wants his hatchet back from Ken. He'd also like to borrow some garbage bags. Chad McKnight as Jim Parsons, my favorite character from this whole movie. He is one of Anna and Clark's friends. You can basically just imagine him as the annoying O-face guy from Office Space, but like more crass.
Yeah.
He's so fucking funny.
He is funny.
He's so annoying.
And it's funny because they always call him by his full name.
Yeah, and he's
everybody
like the
else
only
is just
one.
their first name, and him is Jim Parsons.
It's always Jim Parsons. So yeah, a woman tries and fails to escape a pursuer while the other women who he's captured look on from a nearby building. One of them escapes her binding of Christmas lights and tries to get to the captor's keys. And right as it looks like they're going to escape, the screen goes all weird and kaleidoscopic with the sound turning into a strange warbling noise. And we see this a lot through the rest of the film as it is the titular signal. As we talked about earlier, there seems to be a URL hidden in there, but I can't make it out. I think both Jess and I did an extensive amount of research on trying to figure out what that URL is and also what we're actually seeing with the signal.
Yeah, it's
and
also because like when
nothing.
This came out, probably like no one would notice because it wasn't like it would have been easy to take like a screenshot of or have like a TV that was like the size of your wall.
Yeah.
It'd be harder to notice. So it probably wasn't asked about. But we're like today, it would.
Yeah. And, you know, as far as I can tell, we're the first people to really try to research it because I found fucking nothing. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. So it turns out that we are seeing a movie within a movie. Ben wakes up to find that the TV has turned itself on, and he gets up to turn it off, waking up Maya, who's in bed with him. She's feeling all guilty about cheating and leaves to go home. Ben wants them to run away together, but she's not quite ready to do that, so she covers herself in perfume and makes her exit.
What a classic mistake.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like you should go into the I mean, I've never cheated, but if I'm trying to cover a smell, go in the bathroom, and I call it a bird bath. You know, get a washcloth, paper towel wet, wipe down, but spraying yourself like heavily with perfume when you've been out all night, it wouldn't be fresh. And then plus, if you do stink, perfume never helps. It just mixed with the stank.
Yeah.
Just like, you know,
can still smell that sex underneath it.
It's like the perfume trash bags. It's like, no, it still just smells like moldy food and now lavender mixed in, which is worse.
Yeah.
And I like lavender, but not mixed in with a shitty smell.
There was an instance where I came home from a fun night with a lady friend, and this is when I was still living with my mom. Just speaking of how perfume is not going to mask the scent.
Yeah.
My mom, as I pulled up, was bringing the dog out to take him for a walk.
Sure.
He just made a beeline straight for my crotch and was like, "What's going on here?" And it was so goddamn awkward because I'm like trying to push the dog away and I'm like trying to act like, "What's your deal? What are you doing?" But like, I didn't come home last night, you know. I'm wearing the same thing I was wearing the night before. I look disheveled and here the dog is just gunning for my crotch. And, you know, I don't know if my mom noticed. If she did, it was the best she's ever done at playing it cool because she's not great at that. Man, it was so awkward. And in hindsight, very funny. Yeah. But just didn't know my dog was a rat.
Yeah.
So yeah, also as she leaves, he gives her a mix CD, which she pops into her Discman and starts listening to, instantly dating the shit out of this movie.
Classic.
Absolutely classic. Man. Remember mix CDs.
It's not the same as a playlist, so it's a missed.
I know. There was something a little extra about like writing a little note to somebody or printing out some cover art. Like I would always
took way more effort.
It took so much more effort.
Yeah.
I used to actually make cover art for mix CDs most of the time. Did. Yeah, it was
you could even get those CD stickers you could print on and put on them.
Yep. I had one of those. Yeah. Not really for mix CDs. My bands at the time were stamping our own albums a lot of the time. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I do kind of miss mix CDs. It really is not the same. I put together a lot of playlists. I love putting together playlists. It still just doesn't feel like it's the same effort when you when you give it to somebody. Like, text somebody a link. It's not the same as being like, I made this for you.
Yeah.
She takes off and we get the title card for Transmission 1, Crazy in Love. This transmission has a feel of like a zombie movie or like an end of the world movie from the thousands, which, you know, makes sense. To me, it kind of has like a similar vibe to 28 Days Later or the Crazies remake.
They do say that 28 Days later is a big inspiration for it.
Oh, was it?
I would say it's more like the Crazies, though. I would agree, but they stated 28 Days.
Yeah, the films that really popped into my head were 28 Days Later.
Because they're not zombies.
The Dawn of the Dead remake and the Crazies.
Each other.
No. What the infection is aside, though, I just feel like it has that vibe. Like it has that aura, that air about it.
Yeah. Because it's just walking, there's just people like attacking each other and people are just like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I think at that moment you don't see really too much other than like there's like a couple fighting and then when the guy runs after the girl, like another couple or people come from another hallway. And so it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's.
But nothing like too explicit had happened yet.
No, it definitely starts off slow, and as she's going home, we do see some B-roll of like a full freeway and all that.
Yeah, no. Also, she gets attacked in the parking lot.
Yeah. She gets kind of accosted by several guys who are behaving weirdly, and
there was a guy that was stabbed.
Yeah, but then there was also the guy that had stabbed him. It looked like.
Yeah.
She has that weird instance, and then people are behaving. Like, there's some people out in the hallways of her apartment complex, and they're behaving weirdly. Once she gets home, she finds Lewis, Rod, and Jerry trying to fix the TV, which is, of course, just transmitting the signal. And Lewis is acting more and more erratic as the scene goes on, seems to know she's cheating, is being real demanding and controlling with her, and eventually ends up beating Jerry to death with a baseball bat. As Rod and Lewis start struggling, she runs and hides in the neighbor's apartment. And her neighbor at first lets her in, but like kind of starts, I think, unconsciously attacking her because she's like, it's okay, you're like safe here. But as she's doing that, she's putting her in like this really bad chokehold, which is okay because another neighbor stabs her neighbor to death with a pair of garden shears.
Yeah, I actually like this too because he hears a noise and then he goes shh. And then, like, puts his hand out, like, wait.
Like, hang on a minute. I'll be right with you.
Yeah. And then he keeps, like, paying attention to what's going on in the hallway.
Yeah. And she just sort of closes and locks the door.
Yeah, she slowly goes to the door and then, oops. But yeah, really quick slams the door and locks it, which is smart.
Yeah, it was a pretty well done and very weird scene, and
because even when you see him in the hallway when she first escapes too, and he just walks up to some chick and just like with the shears, just cuts through her neck,
just snips their throat.
Yeah,
that's
scary.
It is scary.
That'd be horrifying.
It's fucking brutal.
And he has like no emotion. He just literally, and it doesn't even seem like, I don't know if he even knew that chick. He literally just walks up to somebody in the hallway.
No, he's just out there killing some folks. Yeah. This whole thing is sort of a wild scene, and you really get to see how things are escalating. But yeah, so she locks him out of the apartment. In the morning, Maya goes back to her apartment where she sees Lewis duct taped to a chair before grabbing some clothes and her Discman and leaving, stepping over bodies in the hallway. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Rod grabs her and pulls her into a janitorial closet where he is freaking out. Panicked, crazy, probably both. After filling her in on how the whole city went mad and was killing each other last night, and how he tied up Lewis and 11 other people, and how he bashed some guy's head in after the guy attacked him with a hammer, they try to escape.
They show like a flashback, and it's obvious he's attacking people that aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious he is just crazy.
Right.
He's probably started as like an actual being self-defense, and then like he just starts attacking anybody. Because they just show him attack like a lady, like she's not doing anything.
Yeah, and he's got this like crazy level of like aggression going.
Well, I think this is also the first instance, which I find really interesting about this movie, is like the people who are infected are like aware of what's going on. They explain it. They constantly are like, there's the TV, there's a signal, and it's making, they even say like the people are killing because it seems rational to them, which I don't know how they would come to that conclusion, like just by what we're seeing. It looks like people are just psychotic.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, like it's rational to them because of like it's changing their thoughts. And like I'm like, it's just interesting to me that like everybody knows this, and then everybody thinks that they're the ones that not crazy, and it's everybody else that's crazy.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they also know that they're crazy, because I think the only way that you could come to this conclusion is if you could tell that it was changing your thoughts.
I guess, yeah.
But then because you're now being irrational, you think that your response to that is rational, and thus you're unaffected. Yeah. Even though it's clearly affected you.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know why I find it so interesting that continually through the movie, people explain what they think is happening, and that like they're rationalizing everything and understand that the signal's making them do it and making people think they're rational, but they're not rational.
Yeah. It's
and we never find out what's like truly going on.
No. And, this movie is a great example of never explaining the bad guy or the monster or the situation that's causing the horror.
It's not relevant to the story, really. That's not the story being told.
Right.
The
but
story
it also
is being told about the event, like what these people dealing with the event, not the specifics of the event.
But it also makes it like that much scarier. Yeah. It makes it that much more of a threat. Like, what is going on? Yeah. Who knows? Can you survive it? Yeah. Can anybody survive it? Yeah. Probably not. But yeah, so as they try to escape, Rod gets shot in the stomach on their way to the car, so he kills the shit out of the cop that shot him. Maya tries to escape, but at the last moment sort of has a crisis of conscience and allows Rod to get back in the car. And as they drive away, he works himself to a frenzy and starts punching her in the head. Yeah. So
because she was gonna leave.
Yeah, but he like really works himself into this delusion. Yeah. Because suddenly he's like, you shot me, which didn't happen. Right. You shot me and you were going to let me bleed to death. And he just starts punching her in the head. Yeah. Knowing that he does not have a seatbelt on, crashes her car and then escapes while he's incapacitated. And as she gets out of the car, she happens to meet Clark, who tries to help her. She tells him she's going to Terminal 13 and leaving Terminus. Ben also finds Lewis in the apartment, and we don't actually see this until later, but it's still mostly part of this story. Yeah. Ben finds Lewis in the apartment and loosens his bonds, but Lewis knocks Ben out and puts him in Lewis's pest control van as he sees Maya escaping.
Thanks for joining us here at the Streaming Screams podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube at Streaming Screams Pod.
You can also find us on TikTok and Blue Sky at Screams Pod.
Every follow, like, thumb, rating, review, subscription, and share all help us out a lot with all the algorithm shit.
So if you like what we're doing, please rate us wherever you get your podcasts, like our posts, all that other good internet bullshit. And again, thank you for listening to
the Streaming Screams Podcast.
Transmission number 2, The Jealousy Monster. And we have got a fucking wild tone shift here. Here,
very wacky.
Yeah, this goes into like what was this apocalyptic, like 28 days later, intense like breakdown turns into this like zany black comedy. Yeah. And I mean zany black comedy. The vibes of this thing kind of remind me of a combination of like Shaun of the Dead, Office Space, American Psycho, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. In particular, there's one scene where all the characters like open the back of the van to look at the guy that they've got tied in there. And everything about the way this one shot is edited and the way the dialogue plays out, I was just being like, I wonder if the guy who wrote this was watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that day, because it just really plays out that same way.
When did It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia come out?
What didn't that come out in like 2004 or something?
I don't know. It was 2005.
2005. Yeah, so maybe. Oh, what season did the kidnapping episode happen?
Not told way later.
Okay. Boo. We suddenly cut to Anna and Ken's apartment, which is all decorated for New Year's Eve. Anna is sitting at a table across from her clearly dead husband, talking about how they should probably cancel the New Year's Eve party. Clark knocks on the door and she lets him in, and we get which it should be noted, I forgot to bring this up at the start of both this episode and the previous version of this episode, that is, may it rest in peace. Happy New Year's. This episode will be coming out on New Year's, and that is why we decided, and that's one of the reasons we chose this movie.
Yeah.
It does take place on New Year's Eve.
Yes, it does.
So yeah, Clark knocks on the door and she lets him in, and we get this quick flashback of her killing Ken by stabbing him in the neck with a balloon pump and then pumping some air in.
To be fair, he did start strangling her.
Yeah.
She did, like, this is one where she was justified.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, it's funny when she pumps the little air thing and it's like a little blood comes out.
Yeah. It also, man, I really hated them in this scene. They're just so grossly saccharine with each other. And I know that's kind of like the point.
I know, but still the balloon thing cracks me up.
Oh.
Should I put more balloons up? Yeah, I think 7. That's what I was thinking. 7.
That's why you married me.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the number, but I don't know why just having such a specific number.
It was 7.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's so specific. It's like, do you think I should put more balloons? Yes, 7.
That's what I was thinking. Oh god, no, it's so annoying. The minute they had that conversation, I was just like, thank God he's gonna die soon. We also get a flashback of Clark decapitating Rod with a shovel, which is probably kind of justified. Rod was fucking wild.
Yeah.
I think he was, up until he died, I think he was the biggest threat in this movie.
Oh, sure.
They try to figure out what is happening, but they're both like crazy already. And there's this really funny moment here where Clark is just raving about how society is over and anarchy rules where etiquette used to be, and nobody is gonna care to come to her New Year's Eve party, which is of course right when the doorbell rings. Yeah. So they real quickly struggle to hide Ken in the bedroom, just lay him down on the bed. It turns out that the person at the door is not there for the party. It is Lewis, who saw Maya's car, and he comes inside pretending that Ken had called an exterminator. There's a lot of fun interaction here where Lewis is paranoid because he keeps kind of seeing Anna as Maya.
Yeah.
And gets it in his head that Clark is going to attack her, although his casual nonchalance here. Is it nonchalantness or nonchalance? It's nonchalance. His casual nonchalant behavior here makes me think that he didn't actually think Clark was a threat. Makes me think that he might have been thinking of Clark as like the guy that his wife is banging.
Which would be a threat.
Not the same kind.
Sure.
Just a threat to his manhood, not his life.
Yeah.
But he just sort of casually lifts up his wand thing and sprays a bunch of insecticide into Clark's eyes. But despite that, they all kind of like.
Well, no, it's funny because what's her name again? Anna is all like, why'd you do that? Clark's our friend.
She said something like, you don't do that to friends. Yeah.
And I'm like, they don't even know this person. I would have a bigger reaction than that.
Yeah. It's
like scolding a child.
Yeah. Which is kind of how she approaches a lot of this. But even so, they all kind of form this like loose friendship and agree that the signal definitely isn't affecting the three of them.
Yeah.
Holy shit, are they wrong? Eventually, Anna's niece, Laura, arrives looking for help, and Lewis, being paranoid as shit, just kills her. At this point, Jim Parsons arrives for the party, oblivious to everything that's happening, and I'm actually not sure that he's crazy yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he's the one character that we actually get to meet sane.
Who knows where he was, but...
Which is so funny because he walks in and delivers what might be the greatest line in film history. When that ball drops, I'm going to grab a slut and I'm just going to pee in her butt. Who fucking writes that? Who says that? I was dying.
Yeah.
Every time I have seen this movie, having forgotten about this, I just end up howling with laughter. And I think even when we saw it in the apartment, like you had to pause it for a minute. It was so fucking funny.
It's very funny.
I'm just going to grab a slut and I'm going to grab a slut and I'm just going to pee in her butt. But yeah, he is just really fucking horny.
I don't think he's the only one we see that I don't think is ever affected by the signal. Because they don't have it on until later.
I think they turn it on pretty quick.
Because he never does anything.
He doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he was exposed to the signal at some point in this scene, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I do know that. Oh no, yeah. The television definitely gets turned on after Anna gets killed. Not after Anna, after Laura gets killed. Because Clark is like, why did you turn the TV on? And Lewis goes, I didn't. She did.
No.
You know. So he does definitely get exposed, but I don't know that he lives long enough to really do anything weird, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we have this awkward scene of all of them trying to be normal, but Anna is hallucinating that Clark is Ken. Lewis is hallucinating that Jim is Ben, and also hallucinating that Anna is Maya. And eventually Lewis just goes on a rampage, pinning Clark to a chair with kitchen knives, beating Jim to death, and blinding Anna with insecticide. Lewis then interrogates Anna and Clark about where Maya went, because he believes that obviously they know, because her car was nearby. Looking crazy. Yeah. And eventually he kills Anna by shooting insecticide down her throat. And Clark finally realizes that the girl Lewis is looking for is the girl that he saw earlier, and says she was going to Terminal 13 right as Ben comes in from out of nowhere and knocks Lewis out. Leading us to Transmission 3, Escape from Terminus.
This one has like an odd tone because it starts off like quirky with the talking head.
Yeah.
The talking head stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah. What would you say the overall tone for this one is?
I have no idea.
Because I had a real hard time placing it.
Well, I don't think they're all different genres.
I did read something that I swear one of the directors said that the whole point was to focus on a different genre for each segment. But the third segment does have a tone that is more in line with the first segment.
Yeah, except for the beginning. Because the head stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah. But I want to say that the first segment has like an action horror feel to it, you know, because it's got that 28 Days Later like rage thing going on. This segment feels a lot more post-apocalyptic, but not like the fun Mad Max post-apocalyptic, more like the dreary, dour, The Road and Maggie kind of post-apocalyptic vibe. I know you've seen The Road. Have you seen Maggie?
It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, right?
Yeah, and it's the least Arnold Schwarzenegger that I've ever seen Arnold Schwarzenegger act, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, at least I don't think I watched it. I might have.
It's sad. I think that's the biggest takeaway from it is it's pretty sad. But
it's basically just the scene with the governor. It's like a whole movie of the governor in Walking Dead. Governor had a daughter.
Yeah, but the governor was so unsympathetic even when you found out about his daughter. Yeah. Schwarzenegger and Maggie is very sympathetic throughout the whole thing. Like I said, it's the least Arnold I've ever seen an Arnold act, and it actually really made me wish that he had done more dramatic roles and more things that were sort of out of his action and or comedy wheelhouse. Yeah. You know? At least that was the impression I got the one time I watched it. So yeah, you should watch it again. But yeah, so Transmission 3 starts with a flashback showing how Ben ended up here, with him following Maya, freeing Lewis from his bonds before being kidnapped by him, and now escaping and knocking Lewis out. Lewis wakes up and chases Ben and Clark into a shed where they find Rod's severed head. And this is one of the crazier scenes. Clark decides that all they need to do to figure out where Maya is so they can try to get Lewis off of their back is to reanimate Rod's severed head. So he drills some screws into Rod's brain and hooks them up to a battery. And of course, in his delusional state, totally works. Yeah. And Rod just demands a cigarette.
And then, like, spits it out immediately.
Yeah, he takes, like, one puff. Yeah. Well, to be fair, he can't, like, take it out of his mouth, and he's there to talk.
Craven talked all the time with the cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, true. Oh, maybe he just doesn't have the facial, like, muscles to do it with that clamp on his head.
Amateur.
Yeah, amateur hour. Rod's head is basically just telling Clark what Clark already knows. It's just sort of his way of retrieving this shit from his memory. But it tells Clark that Maya went to Terminal 13. Yeah. Which, again, I mean, he did remember in the other segment, but, you know, who knows what's going on with everyone's brain. insane.
No, it's like really funny because like when you're first watching this, you're like, is this happening?
Yeah,
and then when he gets the information, and I think like they mentioned something again about not being crazy, and Ben's like, "You're talking to a severed head."
Yeah. And then they both look down, and it's just that limp face, and it's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is crazy." Here's sort of the other interesting thing here. And this will come into something that I'll want to talk about when we're done with the recap, where the head is only telling Clark what he already knows.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it very interesting when he also says that nobody can leave Terminus, which I think we didn't mention earlier. The city that they are in is called Terminus.
Yeah.
And it's not stated where this city is. But yeah, Lewis starts to break in. So Clark screws Lewis starts to break through the door, so Clark screws his arm into the wood paneling of the door, which is pretty brutal and rad. Mm-hmm. And so they escape, and Clark starts putting his conspiracy theorist brain to work and puts on a tinfoil hat, which I think is very funny. Yeah. They make their way through the now empty city to Terminal 13, and after this weird red herring where Ben thinks that he sees Maya with like her face basically missing.
Yeah.
They do find the real Maya strapped into a wheelchair, staring at the terminal monitors, which are now playing the signal. And this is a train station.
Yeah. Which is like, who strapped her in there? There's nobody around.
Good question. They are looking to, was it Lewis? Because they start untying her, and that's when Lewis attacks again. Yeah,
but Lewis I was pretty sure they got there first, and Lewis was following him.
I did too, but again, like everything that we're seeing is with an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
So, it's really hard to tell what is actually happening in this movie and what is just the character's imagination.
Yeah.
But Lewis does attack once more, and this time Ben starts playing mind games with Lewis. He noticed throughout the last segment that the place where Lewis gets confused the most is in people's identities. Mm-hmm. So Ben starts telling Lewis that Lewis is really Ben and that Ben is really Lewis, and starts to get him to like doubt himself. And eventually Lewis, in a rage and super confused, punches one of the TV monitors a bunch of times until it shatters, and he is electrocuted. Ben and Clark get Maya out of there, and they stock up on supplies before Clark wanders off. And I think this is interesting because when they part, he wanders into a cemetery. But yeah, so Clark wanders off, and then Ben and Maya take the train out of Terminus, except that maybe none of this happens because we then see Maya is still tied to the chair catatonic. Ben puts her headphones on and turns on the mix CD that he made for her, and a tear falls down her face before we cut to black.
Yep.
The end. Yeah, I was there's a lot to be unsure of in this movie, but of everything, the thing I was most unsure about is what happened at the end there.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to tell whether they just like flash forward for a minute and show what actually goes on with Ben and Maya escaping, but
I don't think that makes sense.
Who's driving the train?
Yeah, who would be? There's no one like in the station. Who's riding the trains like during this? I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I think that there's something interesting about Clark. When he takes his leave of them, he does walk off into a cemetery. And in my opinion, that's just not a normal place for that kind of parting. Like, why go to the cemetery to say goodbye? Like, where's he going?
Maybe there's a shortcut.
Maybe, but I think it's just symbolically he's supposed to be dead now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's real hard.
Or he's going to his death either way.
Yeah, either way, he's leaving the story. But you know what? Maybe none of them make it out of that train station. Maybe they're all just stuck there watching the signal until they either kill each other or starve to death.
Sure.
You know, this brings me to sort of like my biggest question about this movie, and one that I think if we had an answer to, we'd probably have a much better idea of what is actually going on, is where the hell does this movie take place?
I don't see how that would answer anything. Well, I don't see where it is relevant.
Well, everything about where they are seems weird to me. So first off, the city is named Terminus, and there is no city. There's no city currently in existence named Terminus in like what we would call the West. So I'm guessing there's no city at all named Terminus right now. Definitely not in America, where this seems to take place.
Yeah.
Like I said, when Clark is reanimating the head is just telling him stuff that he already knows. But one of the things that the head tells him is that nobody can leave Terminus.
Yeah.
So
that could also just be a paranoia thing that the signal like is telling people to like keep them in an area. Who knows?
Could be.
Yeah, I just still don't see what the relevance of it being like a fictional place.
Well, so not just
it's like where's Springfield?
No, I'm not. I don't mean like what state is this in? I mean like when Katie was watching this with me, about halfway through, she asked if they were even on Earth.
Which seems weird to me, but
Googling this afterwards, I found a lot of other people who had similar sentiments. I saw propositions that they were on another planet, propositions that they were all dead already and in purgatory. My initial instinct was that they were in like
I hope this isn't supposed to be purgatory, because it's just anyone who's a writer, purgatory is not an interesting answer.
No, it's not.
Stop it.
But we also don't get answers, so it doesn't matter.
No.
My initial instinct was I was thinking that this had to be like some kind of government experiment, like a city that's just been, sort of separated from the rest of society.
Sure.
Which is why you can't escape. Maybe it's walled in. Maybe it's on an island.
Yeah. It's funny because I always just got the impression it was in the UK. I thought this was a British movie, but it's not.
I think
I knew it wasn't for a while, but when I first saw it, it always just feels British to me.
Well, and I think
don't know why.
I think there's a couple reasons for that. One, it has that like dreary London weather. The city and the buildings look very European, or maybe they look East Coast.
Yeah.
And I believe that this was
It was filmed in Atlanta.
Yeah. So I think that adds to that. But then also Rod has some kind of accent. And I'm not sure what that accent is.
Well, I looked it up. Remember, he's from Atlanta, but his parents are from the UK.
Okay. So that is...
And I think the way he dressed is like more of a UK sentiment.
He did...
You're saying he's like a hooligan type.
He did strike me as like a hooligan type.
Yeah.
Which would explain that amazing level of aggression that he has. He's all hopped up on that what is it they drink there, the hooligans drink, that like caffeinated fortified wine.
I don't know,
made by monks. I've always wanted to try it. I don't know, man, I should have looked for it when I was in Germany. God damn it, didn't even think about it. But yeah, it's I actually totally understand why you would think that. It felt like it. But then there's like this other thing of like, we do see some bodies and we do see like some chaos, but other than Rod's recounting of the chaos the night before, it's a really goddamn empty city. And it's
there's like there's cars everywhere, and like you don't know, there's dead people in the cars and there's dead bodies on the street.
There's a few. And
like, save something like this happen right here, you wouldn't see like a fucking bunch of dead people on the street most likely.
No, but you know where I would have expected to see a lot more people is the train station.
Yeah.
Or we do see some people roving the streets.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like
we don't know how big a city this is.
Sure. You're not wrong. The impression that I got watching the movie before I looked anything up about it was that it was probably a city the size of like Berkeley. That was the vibe that I got from it, which just, I feel like we would see more people. The city felt very empty to me.
Yeah. But all parts of Berkeley aren't super populated.
Yeah, sure. But they do go through There's
also a budget.
There is a budget, and we do also see them go through certain parts of the city that I would have expected to be more populated.
Most of it's like just very snapshotty.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, any one of these things would not have had me like questioning where this takes place in like an existential sense.
Yeah.
But when you put them all together, I am just like, yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
Is this Earth? Is this like a controlled experimental
I don't know
zone?
where the Earth thing comes from. I don't
just because everything feels off and weird.
So everything feels off, so that means you're automatically not on Earth anymore.
No, I'm just saying there's all these possibilities that could explain.
I mean, maybe, sure.
The Earth thing never actually occurred to me. Like I said, Katie said that first, and then when I looked it up online, a lot of people were wondering that too. Also, the purgatory thing never occurred to either me or Katie. I just came across online and was like,
no,
I hope that's not it.
That's clearly an option.
Yeah.
It's just so cliche.
Oh, the other thing that occurred to me, because parts of it do have not like parts of it do have this real documentary, almost found footage style. It had occurred to me that like maybe this is a government experiment, maybe it's a fucking Truman Show situation. I don't know. But I'm just saying something about it does not feel like it takes place in a world that we know, or at least in a place that we understand.
Yeah.
And that's all that is. Wild fucking movie.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I like it a lot. Apparently, a lot of people online do not like this movie.
It seems like a very divisive movie.
I don't know why, though. Like, and I can understand if it's not your thing, but some of the hate towards it, I'm like, really?
Interesting.
There's nothing like, no, people were saying the acting's terrible. I disagree. I don't think any of it's bad.
I think everybody's supposed to be acting crazy.
Yeah, they're acting weird, like intentionally. And to me, it doesn't come off as fake or bad. But a lot of, like I said, I saw one comment that was like, did they literally just get homeless people off the street? And I'm like, what?
No, that's so rude.
That's so rude and just like, what?
That's such a...
I don't understand.
That's such a mean-spirited comment.
Yeah, but I don't know. You know how it is. Like, people are just mean online, I guess.
Yeah, people are mean online, but also I think...
I think it's fine if you don't like this movie, but people acting like, some people are like, this is the worst movie. And I'm like, what?
I know. I mean, there's also a chance that a lot of people...
A lot of time when people say things are the worst movie, I'm like, you haven't watched very many movies then. Yeah,
let me tell you, I've seen some dog shit, buddy. Yeah. Look, I can show you some dog shit. Some of it I've actually liked.
We defended things.
Oh my God, we did. Yeah, man, I think there's a real problem with media literacy in the modern world.
Yeah.
And a lot of the hate that I was looking at felt to me like people didn't understand the idea that we are constantly dealing with an unreliable narrator and didn't realize that everything we're seeing is basically being filtered through the perspective of somebody who is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The reason the second segment feels like a fucking wacky sitcom.
And that's the only time we literally see like through someone's eyes. Like they show Anna looking like...
But even that only happens for a minute.
Sure, but it's showing you what he's dealing with.
Yeah.
Like it literally shows you.
Right. And in that particular segment, like it has this wacky comedy, saccharine, you could say sitcom feel.
Yeah.
Because we're in the home of a happy couple.
Yeah, and they're even dressed kind of like 50s, like sitcom style.
Yeah, or the 80s sitcom style with that like Bill Cosby sweater that Ken's wearing.
Well, but she has like a 50s, 60s like dress.
Yeah.
It's like pleated skirt and then the matching like headband and
so yeah, I think a lot of people, the concept might have just flown by them and they may not have understood that like the acting is this way to get a point across, not because it's bad.
It never came off as bad to me.
No, I didn't think that the acting was bad at any point. I thought that it was a very well crafted movie.
It's a bunch of confused, angry people.
Yeah. And we see these confused, angry people through the perspective of somebody trying to survive the beginning of an apocalypse, the perspective of a happy housewife who just had to kill her husband, and the perspective of somebody who is trying to find the woman that he wants to run away with while being chased by her fucking crazy husband.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get a realistic tone out of any of this because you're not supposed to get a realistic tone out of any of this. It's a movie about going mad at the end of the world. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's really well done. My only major complaint about it is that first fucking scene. It just throws me off so much, and it's so irrelevant to the rest of the movie, and I don't know why it's there.
There's other movies that do that, but it's clearly like setting like a tone or something. This is just I don't know.
It's completely out of left field, and it drives me fucking crazy that the title card happens in that scene and not at any point during the movie that we actually watch.
Because not the same, but it does kind of remind me of like Funny Games when they're all like happy in the car and stuff, like on the way there, and then the title screen comes up, Funny Games, and it's like loud music, but it's relevant to this thing. Again, it's relevant to the thing. At the time when you're watching it for the first time, it seems really out of nowhere and jarring. But I
think it's still out of nowhere and jarring.
No, because that song even plays later in the movie.
Oh, Funny Games.
Yeah, Funny Games. Funny Games. I'm saying that at least, like, at first it's really fucking jarring, but then it's like, okay, this is setting up, like, the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Where this doesn't.
No.
Like, this time watching it, at first I was like, I can kind of see themes. But I think because I'm looking for something,
I mean,
I'm like trying to figure out why it's there.
The only theme I could see that connects it is the senseless violence. And that's it.
I guess. Do you really need to, like, point that out in a horror movie?
No. Not one bit.
Yeah. And it also goes on for a bit of time, too. It's not, like, super short.
There is one other connection that did make me think, which was this movie takes place on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
The girl in the shed in that first segment, when she escapes, she is wrapped up in Christmas lights, which does point to like a similar time of year, at least, kind of.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. I feel like this is supposed to tie in somehow, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how.
Yeah, it was a choice.
Yeah. A weird one.
Yeah.
And my biggest complaint of the movie.
Sure. I just forget about it like 10 minutes after into the movie. I've already forgotten about it.
Yeah. Fucking wild. Absolutely wild movie. So who would you recommend this one for?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyone that likes weird, quirky movies. If you like 28 Days, stuff like that.
28 Days Later.
Yeah.
There is a movie called 28 Days, very different tone. It's like a comedy or a drama or maybe a dramedy. I think it's got Sandra Bullock.
Okay, 28 Days Later.
Yeah. 28 Days Later, however, very different vibe. I would say, if you like 28 Days Later, if you like zany, weird comedies, in particular, if you think like a really demented version of Office Space would be cool, because that second segment. If you like unexplained apocalypses, assuming this is an apocalypse, and you don't necessarily need shit spelled out for you, real good. Also, if you just like that mid-aughts vibe. Because it does, even though all the tones change fairly drastically, the whole thing feels very mid-aughts.
Sure.
If you're into those things, worth a shot. And if you would like to give The Signal a shot, you can do so with a subscription to Prime Video, Roku, Canopy, Hoopla, Fandango at Home, Philo, or Plex. You can also rent or buy it from Apple TV or Amazon. And I think that's going to do it for this episode of Streaming Screams. Hopefully, this episode of Streaming Screams survives. Jessica, with that hope in mind, play us out.
When your TV goes wibbly wobbly, don't watch.